Okay, so here's example number 2. This is the last video for 10-3, and it's just adding one more complexity to our problem. But we're going to handle it the same way. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a fence to make sure that whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other side. Okay, with this one, you'll notice that there's 10z, minus 4z, and then on the other side, there's also a minus 2z. Okay, before I start bringing them over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine like terms that are already existing on the same side of the equal sign. So specifically, what I see on the left-hand side is that there's 10z here, and there's a minus 4z. When you highlight the like terms, make sure that you grab that sign that's in front of it. Okay, when I combine these two, think about these as the algebra tiles. We have 10 green strips and we have 4 red strips. When we combine this, we'll be left with 6 green strips, which means that there's positive 6z. I haven't done anything with the 15, so I'm just going to rewrite that. Okay, on the other side, there's also some like terms that I want to take care of. And that specifically is the 8 and a minus 15. When I combine these, what will happen here is think of these as yellows. I have 8 yellows and I have 15 reds. Red and yellow will cancel out, and I'll be left with 7 red squares. Okay, so that is written as minus 7. And I haven't done anything with this, so this still gets written as minus 2z, or negative 2z minus 7 is the other way you could say it. Okay, now that there's no more like terms on either side that I can combine, I'm going to start moving things around. Okay, one of the strategies here is that just looking ahead and thinking about what I can do, if I brought the 6z over to the right-hand side, then I would end up with my variable as being negative. I don't want to have a negative variable because there's one more step that I have to do at the end. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this negative 2z. And the way I can do that is by bringing in 2 positives. The whole entire thing, plus 2z. I need to, whatever I see here, I need to bring in the complete opposite. Okay, so I bring in plus 2z over here. We know on the right-hand side, the reason why we did it is so they'll cancel out. On the left-hand side, green strip and green strip, they're going to be combined, and so I'll be left with 8z on this side. I still have the minus 15, and on the other side, on the right-hand side, I still have minus 7, or negative 7. Okay, since I want to get everything away from the variable, I'm going to choose to get rid of these minus 15 or the negative 15. Okay, and the way I can do it is by bringing in 15 positives. And do that to both sides. Okay, on this side, as we know, they will cancel out. That's why we chose to do it. And on this on the right-hand side, we have 7 negatives and we have 15 positives. Okay, when we do the red and yellow cancel out, we would be left with 8 positives. So ultimately, what we have is 8z equals 8. Okay, well, if we finish it up by doing our division, divide by 8 on both sides, what you will see is that z equals 1. This would be the step where we turn and burn. We have 8 green strips that we would turn sideways, and we would have 8 yellows that we would need to deal out like cards. And we're left with z equals 1 at the end. Okay, one more tip before you guys go. When you do number 2 on the try this, okay, do not forget that you have to find like terms, but you're going to have this this question here. That's minus 6/8. Okay, you'll find your common denominator. They have to be a common denominator. This one here is kind of interesting because it's not a fraction. Okay, but what you can do is you can think about this, or you can rewrite this as y over 1. There you go, now it's a fraction. Okay, and so I'm going to rewrite it up here, y over 1. And now I'm going to find the common denominator and change everything into that common denominator.